So that's how we get to the syllabus. So here's the syllabus. 2 big blocks. First block, general principles of chemistry, and that's the same whether you take 309.1 or 511.1, 511.2. This is your insurance policy. This is what ensures that if you take 309.1, you can go on later and take 512. You could be a chemical engineer. You can go to medical school. Okay? And then this is the specialty topics that pertain to the devices, engineering systems. So let's turn to the handouts now. What I'm going to do for about the next 15, 20 minutes is just tell you what the class operation is like so that everybody knows. I want you to understand what you've signed up for. The text is the one shown here. It's out in second edition. It's available at the Coop. It's available at Quantum Books. There's even some first editions out there which are very, very similar. There's some minor differences. There's some numbering differences with some of the homework problems. I don't care if you buy the book. I don't work for Wiley. I don't own shares in Wiley. I don't own shares in the Coop. I don't care if you buy the book. If you want the book, that's the book I use. Lectures. Lectures are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 or Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1. The enrollment, as last time I looked, is an even 600. So the registrar's computer divided you between this 11 o'clock lecture and the 1 o'clock lecture. If you want to change lectures, please go to Hillary or Lori and arrange it. Because, as you can see, some people don't have a seat. If everybody goes to the assigned place, there will be a seat for everybody. So out of courtesy, I think it's important that we follow the assignment. So if you want to go at 1 o'clock, you're welcome to do so, but please arrange it with my assistants. The 1 o'clock lecture is a smaller group. It's about 150, and it's around the corner on the first floor, building 6120. So 11 o'clock will be in 10250, and 1 o'clock will be in 6120. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's the standard lecture format. I talk, you listen. Okay? I'm going to write things on the board. I'm going to post things up on the screen. So, where you get a chance to interact on a greater level is in the recitations. The recitation is an old, archaic New England term. If you go back to the colonial times, education would be conducted in an unheated room by someone who basically hates children and would come into the room and look at someone and glower and yell, "Sat away! Stand and recite." I would recite some whatever, the Articles of Confederation. I would rise on my hind legs, quaking in my boots, and I would begin until I made a mistake, whereupon I would be castigated, berated, totally stripped of self-esteem by this monster who would then inflict the same pain on somebody else. That was education in the old days. We're going to do it a little differently this year. Okay? So in your recitation sections, I have asked the instructors not to do that. Instead, you come to class, you control the agenda. I have instructed them not to give you a 4th and 5th lecture. You come there with your questions. You come to my lectures, take some notes. Maybe you don't record everything I say. Maybe you record what you didn't understand. Then you go to recitation. The first thing they're supposed to say is good morning or good afternoon, and then they say, what are your questions? And they drop the agenda. So someone says, I didn't understand what he was talking about at the end of the last lecture when he was doing the Bohr model. I didn't get it. Somebody else said, can you do number 3 on the homework for me? So we drop the agenda. Okay? So those recitations occur Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you'll have a time and you'll go to the same time on the Tuesday and on the Thursday. Same thing applies here as with the lectures. If you wish to change sections, you may do so only with permission of the subject administrators, because it's very important that those sections be kept at a small population. I want to have the population at a number no greater than 20. That way you get good access to the TA. I don't want to have a section with 30 in it. So there are many sections. They run from 9 in the morning through 4 in the afternoon with multiple sections through the middle of the day, which are the most popular sections. And if you'd like to change, You can do so only with the permission of the administrator, and you have to have the reason to do so. You can't do it because I don't do mornings or because my girlfriend's in this other section. No. I don't get freedom. I'm told I got to be here at 11 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't go down to the registrar and say, I'd really like to do it at another time. No. But if you have a Europ or you have some sports practice or something, we'll allow that. So please stick to the sections. And right now, because of the burgeoning enrollment, we've opened up some sections. So these three are underpopulated. So if you'd like to switch into one of these three, they have very low numbers right now. We've added an extra one at 11, an extra one at 2, and we've added one at 1 o'clock. So if that meets your schedule in a better manner, then again, do it, but only with permission from Hillary or Lori. Oh, by the way, talking about under-enrolled subjects, the complementary subject offered by STS called History, Society, and Solid State Chemistry meets Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 in room 2136. It is underpopulated right now, so if you're still shopping for a humanities subject, this one bears the precious CIH designation. Think about that. If it's a question about the time of that, then perhaps raise it with the instructor and see if we're talking about a small number of people. I suspect that enrollment is going to be in the dozens, so it could easily be rearranged if the time is conflicting with one of your other classes. Homework. 3091 is different. I give homework as a learning aid. I give homework, and you'll see you have homework questions with model solutions at the outset. I want you to learn by studying the homework. I'm not going to have you work long hours on difficult problems to be submitted and then graded. I don't do that. Part of this is designed to get you to start thinking about the transition from high school to college. What I mean by that is I want you to take ownership of your learning. So I'm not going to come around and say, did you do your homework? And I've got evidence that you didn't do it because you didn't turn it in. So it's easy. It's easy to blow it off. And those of you who had a lot of chemistry, for the first little while, it's going to be a lot of review and you're going to get complacent. Don't do it. Develop good study habits. The homework is a good test of that. Make the time to work the homework problems. But just to make sure, to stimulate interest, every Tuesday in recitation there will be a 10-minute quiz based upon the content of the homework. So if you've worked the homework problems, you'll do the homework quiz handily. If you haven't looked at the homework problems, you might have difficulty with the homework quiz. So there is no homework grade based on turning homework in. The homework portion of your total grade is the aggregate of all of those weekly test scores. And you must take the test. If you fail to take the test, you get 0. And I average the 0 in. If you don't make it to class, contact your TA, your recitation instructor, and you can take a makeup within a week of the time of the original test. I want to give you every chance to get caught up. But it's your education. I want you to take ownership of it. So all scores count. There's no dropping of lowest scores from the average. Some of the other classes perhaps do this. People have actually confronted me telling me it's an MIT rule.